Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be doing a review of The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. So this is the book that I was sent as a part of my February Owl Crate. The theme was sci-fi love, and for those of you who don't know, Owl Crate is a monthly subscription box where you get sent a new release YA book and a couple of bookish accessories in accordance with the theme for the month. And I will leave the link to their website down in the description box because if you're interested, they are definitely worth checking out. So this book follows the main character, Natalie, who is in her last summer before she heads off to college in another city. And since she's a child, she's had this mysterious grandmother figure visit her when she's asleep and tell her Native American stories and all this sort of stuff. And one night grandma visits her, grandmother, I always say grandma. Grandmother visits her and says, "You have 3 months to save him and you won't see me again." And Natalie embarks on this journey of self-discovery, trying to discover what's real and what's not. And then she meets this boy, Beau, in the middle of the football field one night, and everything kind of changes from there. One of my favorite things about this book was the kind of introspective narrative that is throughout it, because at the same time as Natalie is noticing these changes in the world and trying to understand them, she's also reflecting on herself and her role in it, and why can I see this, and you know, why me? Why does grandmother visit me? Who do I have to save? And I really loved that everything came back to her trying to work it out, and it was really beautifully written, this kind of panic of a girl thinking, is it my father I have to save or my brother? And it just, I really loved it. It was really beautifully written, and there were times when the writing, it didn't make me cry, but it made me quite emotional because there were these powerful moments where her inner narrative was just so emotional, I guess. This kind of ties into my other favorite thing about this book, which was the Native American stories in it, because our main character Natalie is adopted and her mother was a Native American, and so hearing these stories and finding the parallels between her life, it just aids her on this journey of self-discovery where she's trying to work out why her mother didn't want her and how she can get back to these Native American roots and really discover herself. And I just thought the writing was really beautiful. I loved the stories that were told, the traditional Native American ones, because I hadn't ever encountered them before, and some of them were just so wonderful and I loved them. That was a really great part of this book. I guess at this point in the review it seems like I absolutely adored this book because I've really just been talking about the beautiful writing and the introspective narrative and the interesting genre, but the truth is I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars because it was good, but there were quite a few things that really bothered me. The first one of these is something that just felt too young adult and tropey for this book, and it's the insta-love. You know, when two characters meet and they make eye contact and they're like, "Hey, I love you," and the other person's like, "I love you too." And it's just like, that doesn't happen in real life. No one meets and is straight away like, "You're my soulmate." If you meet and you're that immediately in love, it's probably not love, it's probably lust or physical attraction. But I just hate insta-love because I guess in this story it couldn't happen any other way really, but that doesn't make it okay because there's still no real development to this character relationship beyond they just had this connection. They were just drawn to each other. It's like, but why? Why? So apart from the insta-love, the other thing that annoyed me was the explanations they gave for everything that was happening. Not that they didn't make sense, but that they were too complex and drawn out. It was like there was this story that they had to somehow explain, and they were like, let's make it really complex so people get confused and don't question it. And I just found that a real downer on the story because there's this whole bit at the end where they're explaining everything that's happened, and I don't want to say what it was about because spoilers, but it was just such a, I don't know, like such a drawn out explanation of something that could have been simplified and made a lot more enjoyable to read. And I found this passage of the book really boring, and that upset me because when they're explaining everything that's happening, you're like, finally I have answers. It should be an exciting moment, and it wasn't, because I just found it like, it was nothing, kind of. I know that sounds really mean when I say it, but it wasn't exciting like it should have been. Instead I was kind of like, okay, I get it, like let's hurry things along. Yeah, so like I said before, I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars, and I'm really terrible at rating books. I always find it really hard to give it like a star rating because I always change my mind, but this one I'm pretty set on 3 out of 5 because it was good but not great. And I would recommend this to people, not just for the pretty cover that you can have on your shelf, but I think it's a really beautifully written book, and if you can get past the insta-love, I couldn't, but if you can, then you will definitely find this that little bit more enjoyable than I did. But either way, I'm pretty sure this is a debut novel and it's really clever, so yeah, would recommend. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you liked this review, and if you have read this book, please let me know what you thought of it down in the comments, because I'm really interested to know what other people thought of it, or if I'm just being too harsh on it. But thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like it, subscribe to my channel and all that, and hopefully you will tune in for my next video. Toodaloo!